So dear students, candle is enlightened, light is falling on the white screen, but so far the human body toy is still in my hand. I have not placed it in between the candle and screen. But now I will place it such that this human body toy serve as the obstruction. Let's see whether it casts the shadow. You look at the screen. He-Man is standing. So this is what human body toy. It is obstructing the path of the light coming in a straight line, and the portion on the white screen where there is no light falling is showing us what? Shadow of the human body toy. And whether this shadow size will change, let's observe. So moving the position of the human body, what you observe? Shadow size is increasing as it is increasing towards the source of light. Now I will move the human body towards the screen. What do you observe? Shadow size is gradually decreasing. So, in between screen and source of light, where the obstructing body is placed, that decides the size of the shadow. Another thing, if I place the object here, but move the source of light from one position to another, again the shadow size will change. Look here. Source of light is brought closer to the human body. Shadow size is increasing. Very nice. Now the source of light is removed away from the object, away from the human body toy, and the shadow size is decreasing. And third, there is another method to change the size of the shadow. You know what? This screen position, white screen position, if I move it closer to the object, shadow size decreases. If I move the screen away from the object, shadow size increases. Very nice. So from this activity, what we have observed, what are our conclusions, that I will write on the board. Okay. So please switch on the light. Experiment. Shadow experimentation. Okay, bete? Here was source of light, like burning candle. Here was the obstruction, that is like human body, and and here is the screen. Okay, this is what? Object. This is what? Screen. N stands for screen, white sheet, vertically white sheet. O stands for object. S stands for source. And on the screen, here you will observe the shadow of the object. This one is what? Shadow. So what are our conclusions? Number one, shadow is that portion where no light rays fall due to the presence of obstruction in the path of straight line rays of light. Okay, let's call this distance between object and source as X S O. S stands for source, O stands for object. Let's call this distance as ON, meaning gap between object and screen. So what are our observations? observations. Number one, if you decrease the size gap between source and object, suppose this gap is decreased, let me tell you, the shadow size was found to be increasing. Shadow size was increasing. Okay. What was the other observation? Second observation. That was related to XON, straight line gap between object and screen. So what we observed, when XON was decreased, means when both of these were brought closer or either one is moved in such a way that gap decreases, then this shadow size was found to be decreasing. Downward arrow means decreasing, upward arrow means increasing. So these two observations are, you have to note down. Another thing, you will write that this concludes to this. At the same time, you have to remember and vice versa. What I mean to say vice versa? Meaning is, if this XSO gap, instead of decreasing, it is increased, then shadow size will decrease. I mean, this arrow upward, then this arrow downward. Both arrows are in opposite directions. Here, both arrows are in same direction. Also, you have to remember here and vice versa. That means if this particular gap is increased, shadow size will increase. Both arrows should be in the same direction, either both downwards or both upwards. Okay, satisfied? Not only we have discussed shadow, at the same time we have discussed the real cause behind shadow formation is rectilinear propagation and the variation in the shadow size because of variations in these two distances. Now we will move to the next one. Okay, very nice. The next topic. The next topic is now pinhole camera. Shabash. So be attentive. First of all, we will learn it how to make. Okay. So bete, you must have purchased the shoes in your life. And you know, shoes box is usually of this type. Cuboid shape. Cuboid shape it is called. Okay. So you have to take this kind of the box and not one box, rather two boxes. You have to take how much boxes? Two boxes. Okay. So how to make the pinhole camera? Look here. One box is taken and this portion of the box is removed. On the other side, we also remove this particular space, but here we paste the what? Trace paper. You can also call it butter paper. Butter paper. Place the butter paper of the size of the face of the box and paste it with the help of sellotape, or you can say use any other adhesive. Fine. So what on this side? This is overall cut piece. Okay. You can see the white trace paper here. What you have to do with the other box? Okay, let me tell you. This box should be little smaller than the previous box. The previous box, it is little bit larger. It now the next box is little bit smaller. It should be able to slide into the bigger box, little smaller. Okay, so what you have to do with the other box? Just cut this face, and on the exactly opposite face there is a miniature hole. I have made a miniature hole. Make the diagonals here. Where the diagonals intersect, you have to put the miniature hole. Like I have put the, look, this is the miniature hole here, right? So this is all how you make the pinhole camera. Length of the pinhole camera can be adjusted like this, right? On this particular, on the front of this particular face, you will place a burning candle here and lighten it. You will place the candle, and its inverted image will be absorbed on this side. Will be absorbed on this side. Inverted means upside down. Okay, what I mean to say upside down, look at the board. If the candle is standing like this is your flame, and this is the pinhole camera which I was just talking about. Okay, so on the front side, what you observe, on the front side, what you observe, there is a screen, butter paper screen, and there is a miniature hole here. Burning candle is serving as the object. The upside down image will be obtained on this screen. Upside down, or you can say inverted image. Inverted image. The flame is downward, candle body is upward. Okay, how this is obtained? Let me tell you. From this candle, the rays of light will go, and here it is the this particular hole. Light will pass from this hole this way. Okay, rectilinear propagation, straight line. And you see, this particular ray of light is coming from the tip of the flame. So therefore, on the butter paper screen, here will be the tip of the flame, and this particular ray of light is going from the base stand of the candle. Naturally, in the image we will see the base stand of the candle. So inverted image will be obtained like this. How we have made? I told you, one box is taken, little bit of larger size. On this particular section you will paste the trace paper, and on this side you will keep it open. Why? Another box of little bit smaller size will be taken. That box will be able to slide in between the larger box. From this side it will be cut out. Cut out. This face will also be cut out of larger box. But on this face, across the, you will draw the diagonals. At the point of intersection of the diagonals, here you will make the miniature camera. The smaller box will be able to slide into the larger box such that desired length of the pinhole camera can be adjusted, and here the burning candle will serve as the object. So this only, this now we will see it with the help of activity here. Okay, shabash, be attentive.